watching the thrift store when Dad will we bring Hollywood home on a budget. I can't even begin to tell you how much of a turning point a certain holiday series I did on my channel was in making TSR grow a little bit more. The Wonderful World of Disney Deals. That series was at the end of 2023. I did it for nearly a month and a half, and the premise was simple: to find and review the best Disney items, some well-known and some not so well-known, but always on a budget. And you guys really enjoyed it. In fact, I can probably say that that was indeed the turning point in making this channel subscriber list grow just a little bit more, and each and every day at a steady pace, even though I did get a little bit of Disney fatigue towards the end. Anyway, I just want to say thank you, and why not bring it back for a 5-day stint, especially on the most magical week of all, Christmas week. So once again, I'm serving up some Disney deals. First and foremost, on a plate. There are dozens and dozens of Disney cookbooks on the market these days. Some attached to specific Disney properties, and others a general hodgepodge with a little bit of everything. This belongs in the latter category, but nobody else has ever talked about this particular cookbook on YouTube. Leave it up to me to break it in. Disney recipes, from animation to inspiration. Chef Ira L. Meyer has concocted dozens and dozens of recipes inspired by your favorite Disney properties, theatrical films, and short stories, such as Snow White, Cinderella, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, The Little Mermaid, and even those silly symphonies and Mickey and Minnie and Donald Duck and Pluto and Goofy sorts from the classic years. They're all divided into these categories: the table of contents, appetizers and condiments, pasta, soups, entrees, salads, dressings and sandwiches, vegetables and vegetarian entrees, desserts, baked goods, and drinks. In total, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 chapters, all in all. Plus, at the end of the book, you'll find 2 original recipes from Walt Disney himself. And as we go over all the recipes I'm highlighting here, 9 in all, 1 per each chapter, we'll tell you more about some key points to look out in every recipe in this book. We begin with appetizers and condiments, the big, bad wolf's dream. Barbecued spare ribs with blackberry sauce. This will make 4 servings and will take you 1.5 days to do. Anyway, key point number 1, nutritional information. See here, you get nutritional stats for every recipe. Next up, Clarabelle Cow's tagliatelle pasta in the pasta section. Where else? Serving 4 and taking you, thankfully, half an hour to do. Key point number 2, notes. These could be notes on preparation or ingredient substitution. Next, Cinderella's herb and egg white soup. This is a rather herby take on the famous stracciatella soup, and again will take you half an hour to do, serving 4. Key point number 3, variations. You can add your favorite ingredients to the mix or take some out, depending on dietary needs or maybe more visual appeal, extra flavor, what have you. Esmeralda's turkey piccata is in the entree section, and this will make 4 servings with 1.25 hours of prep and cook time. Now, you see here at the top, from the Hunchback of Notre Dame, every recipe in here tells you what Disney property, theatrical or short movie, they were inspired by. And by the way, a little behind the scenes factoid that they don't tell you in here, Esmeralda was voiced by Demi Moore. And if you were to add Demi Moore and candlelight, privacy, and music in the same sentence, I would say, sign me up. I can only begin to scratch the surface substance on how freakishly awesome that would be. Next, the Cheshire Cat's marinated fish salad. Again, serving 4, but taking you 4 hours of prep work. For the marination, that's a good amount of time here. What children can do. Anytime you see these notes here, what children can do with the Mickey Mouse ears, that indicates the kids can get involved in the actual recipe prep. But they ought to be extra careful because this is really a raw fish salad. Almost like a ceviche. It has that kind of element. Here we have Uncle Scrooge's Golden Risotto from cartoons. So this is really Uncle Scrooge from a variety of Disney films and sorts. This will take you an hour to do, and again serve 4. In terms of visual appeal here, we have full-color stills from all the films and sorts. You can see a couple down here with Uncle Scrooge, and even sketch art. Plus, there's also a quote from all the films and all the characters covered in here. Here we have Huey, Dewey, and Louie's chocolate pie. They're Donald Duck's nephews, of course. And this work of art ought to take you 3 hours to do and serve 6. Serving suggestions. Whatever you can pair alongside that would rather fit perfectly with these recipes, they'll tell you in these sidebars as well. And in my view, a scoop of vanilla ice cream with a chocolate pie, you can't go on. For baked goods, we have cookie carnivals, boys and girls, from a little to well-known sort called the Cookie Carnival. This will take you 5 hours to do because there's a lot of detail work involved, so you ought to pay attention. Plus, it'll make 4 servings. Wow. The majority of these recipes do serve 4, and these cookies would go well with tall glasses of cold milk. Finally, we wash down all this magical deliciousness with a hero's Herculad from Hercules. And this will take you 15 minutes to do, and once more, serve 4. Orange, mid-spligs, purple grape juice, ginger ale, and club soda. Yep, the drink of heroes. Rather egomaniacal heroes, but oh well. We already went over all the key points in terms of helpful sidebars and visual appeal, so I'll only say this. The amount of nostalgia you're getting in here, and the amount of imagination, not to mention bold, chef-like techniques that you're gonna get in here is pretty darn cool. Ira L. Meyer is indeed an acclaimed chef. One that's not that well known today, but he did a heck of a job here. He actually went inside the mind frames of the animators of these classic Disney tales, and whatever inspiration he got from them, which would also be whatever inspiration they got to put into their characters, is certainly alive in this cookbook. But how can you bring it to life? There's only one way to do it. Make these recipes. And they're pretty darn timely, the majority of them anyway, so that you can still whip them up at home and get good results. All that being said, 4.5 out of 5 claps. In summary, Disney recipes, from animation to inspiration, is a fairy tale on a fork. Thanks for watching. Really, I mean it. And here's what's coming up for Tuesday. When it comes to finding great Disney deals, for many Disney fans, first and foremost, it's gotta be love on the brain. I'd rather it be more love than money, but TSR can always find a way to bring the two together. That's my We on the T. Thanks for tuning in. Just so you know, there's no limit to bringing Hollywood home on a budget. Please go ahead and check out another awesome review like this one by clicking here, and make sure you subscribe by clicking here. Until next time, I'll catch you, as I always do, on the flip side.